So the title of this message comes from the tabletop role-playing game called Root, which was originally, it is originally a board game. The basis of that game is that you are a vagabond woodland creature going on various adventures. The move Trust Fate is when you roll your two six-sided dice, or 2d6, and add your luck stat. Rolling to Trust Fate is taking a leap of faith to see if your character can do what they think they can do. To take a leap of faith is to step out into the unknown. When you take a leap of faith, you are putting your trust in someone else, something else, or yourself. Trusting that your leap of faith will end well. I grew up alongside the internet. I've never seen the before, where computers and the internet did not exist. And I've never had a childhood experience when I could access everything we can access today on a touch screen. It was never a thing growing up. Fun fact, I am 181 days older than Google. And I can say that I'm older than Google. Growing up, we were always warned about the dangers of online. How you should never enter online chat rooms with people you don't know, because they are most definitely old, creepy men. Why specifically men? I do not know, but they were always old, creepy men who only have naughty thoughts. There were rules when using the internet. Don't talk to strangers. You don't know what their motives are. Don't post pictures of yourselves or anyone else on the internet. And the biggest rule of all, don't ever, in any way, in any circumstance, ever meet up with someone you met online in person. It's the biggest rule ever. Because online, they may trick you with all the text and photos to make you think like you're talking with someone your age. But in reality, they're an old, creepy man with impure thoughts. Technology. And they were going to most certainly take you away to a land where desserts and junk food did not exist. Only healthy food like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, all that gross stuff. And as a child, that was horrible. Nobody wanted that. So back in 2021, some friends I met online were meeting up in person. And I wanted to go, but there were a couple things that was stopping me from going. One, I hadn't known these people for very long, and I didn't feel like I'd fit in with them quite yet in person. Two, it was happening at the same time that I was going to the cottage with my family, so how dare I miss family time at the cottage? Something you don't do. Three, I'm a nervous flyer, and this would have been the first time flying by myself and to a place I've never been. And four, the technicality of the Canadian-American border being closed due to the pandemic. So I kept saying, I'll go next year, only if the Canadian-American border was open. I'd go next year. And so in 2022, the border was in fact open, but I was torn. Do I stay or do I go? I had known these people for more than a year now. It was scheduled to happen before my family vacation at the cottage, so no conflict there. But I'm still a nervous flyer, and it was still me flying by myself to a place I've never been to, while breaking the #1 rule of the internet. It was only when my friend encouraged me and the "it's now or never" thought kicked in. I said, let's do this. Let's take that leap of faith, because if not now, then when? So I took that leap of faith, and I survived. I'm still here. And I'm going back again. It didn't scare me off. It's great. Of course, the irony being that most of my friends that I'm meeting up with are older than me by at least 10 years or more, and none of them are old, creepy men with impure thoughts. So, progress. So if I can do it, you can too. You have to face the risks in order to indulge in the rewards. The musical Come From Away is the retelling of the events of 9/11, but told from the stories of the people on the plains and the people of Gander, Newfoundland. Today we will discuss Bonnie Harris and her story. Bonnie is a mother who works at the local SPCA. Bonnie inquired about the possibility of there being animals on the 38 planes that had arrived, and she was told there was none, not a single animal on any of the planes. Of course, she didn't like that answer and decided to go down to see for herself. She was then told that the planes were to be treated as bomb threats and that no one is permitted access to the hold. Not taking no for an answer, she puts matters into her own hands, even if that means risking her life for the possibility of there being animals on that plane or on those planes. And through her perseverance, she rescues 19 animals from the planes to ensure they survive those 5 days in Gander. Bonnie is Peter, taking the step out into the water, putting trust in herself that she is right about there being animals on the plane. Except she doesn't let the winds of the bomb threats or potential arrests sway her away from reaching her resolve. Bonnie walked on water and saved 19 animals from the diverted planes. The fate of those animals would have changed if Bonnie took that initial no and left it at that. If you, then who? Who would have ensured that Lyle took his pill? Who would have been there to help Unga through her pregnancy and delivery? The sad truth, if not Bonnie, then no one. But Bonnie did. She trusted her gut, she had faith in herself, and she saved the 19 animals from the plains. In our reading today, Jesus walks on water. Peter says he trusts Jesus and is momentarily able to stand on the water. But he lets the winds of reality sway him, and he suddenly falls into the water. Jesus saves him and then returns to the boat. This is where Jesus basically says, "Why did your trust in me waver?" As he questioned Peter's trust in him. Now, walking on water isn't a thing people usually do, but when we break this interaction down, we can take the act of walking on water and relate it to our day-to-day lives. The boat is your comfort zone. You know you will not drown when you are in your boat. The wind is your fears or outside forces that will try to sway you. Jesus is your reward, the feeling of being in the moment. And the water is the risk, the act of stepping out onto the water is you trusting in yourself that you can do this. You are stepping out of your comfort zone and into the unknown. You are taking a leap of faith. Do you worry too much about how others perceive you? Do you worry you're not good enough, not worthy enough, or that you don't deserve the reward that comes with the risk? Well, don't be afraid. You're not alone. Push those fears away. Do not let them stop you, and take that leap of faith. You can do it. And yes, you may fall into the water and you may fail. But when that happens, you just have to get back up and try again. Learn from those failures and grow. If you stay in your little bubble of comfort, you'll never be able to experience those failures, and thus you'll only be existing, not living. If you keep letting the winds of fear sway you to not take that leap, you'll never end up doing it. So when that clear sky appears, take that opportunity and take that leap. Don't let the wind stop you from believing in yourself. You go get a good chunk of your hair cut off, about a third of it shaved and all of it dyed, even if it inconveniences some of your party, most of your party that you're with momentarily because they have to go to a birthday party and you're making them super late, you know. Theoretically, of course. Never done that. But if you push it off again and don't do that, you'll never get back to it, and then the winds would have won. If you needed a sign to go out there and take that leap of faith, this is your sign to do that. Have you always secretly wanted to join the worship committee? Now is your chance. Have you wanted to learn the inner workings of the tech crew? Well, jump right in. Take that leap and live your life. So now I'm going to give you homework. I know it's wild, it's summer break. How dare I give you homework? I want all of you in here, all of you on there in Zoom. No one is excluded. And I want all of you to go out and take a leap of faith. It doesn't have to be something huge like flying to America all by yourself, to meet some people you've only met online. It can be something small, like choosing what outfit to wear, or whether you take a new route or stick with the old one. The deadline for this is October 29th, 2023. It's a Sunday. I am giving you a deadline because otherwise procrastination will set in and it will never get done. The sea of possibility awaits, and God will be with you every step of the way. You are never alone. Thanks be to God. Amen.